Well, we all know that everyone should have a written legal document distributing your assets when you pass away, but the question then becomes, should you have a will or a living trust? Today, we're explaining the differences, the benefits, and the drawbacks. Attorney Jim Higgins with the Higgins Firm recently stopped by with more. We've got Jim back with us today on the show. Great to see you again.
Thank you.
All right, we're talking about the differences between a living trust and a will today. Obviously, we need one of these, but what are the differences? Which one should we go with?
Well, that's a good question. And for different people, one may fit better than the other. The important thing is to have one. You need to have something that deals with your estate, whether that's a last will and testament or a living trust. And we have folks that really have a preference for one or the other, but we kind of have a list that we go through to tell them the benefits of one. And for a living trust, one of the big benefits, it's private. You don't have to go through probate. You put all of your assets in this living trust, so when you pass, it would go immediately to your beneficiaries, and you don't have to go through the process of probate, so it saves you some money, and usually the assets will pass quicker that way because you don't have to wait on the probate process.
Okay.
And it's private. When you probate an estate, it's all in there in public record, and I don't know if there's a lot of people going down there looking, but if they wanted to, they can see it a lot of times. And people are, we're all a little bit private about our stuff, and that keeps it that way.
Okay. And now I read that only about 20% of Americans have the living trust.
Mm-hmm.
Tell us more about the benefits of that.
Sure. Well, it's, in addition to what we just said, I think the reason only 20% have it is, although you get those benefits, there is a little bit more work on the front end. You got to move your assets to it, which can be a little more expensive. The fees of setting it up are a little bit bigger on the front end. But again, why 20% of people probably have it is, the privacy, avoiding probate. And even though they spend a little bit more on the front end, it probably saves them money on the back. And the reason is to avoid those legal fees and the costs that you have to go through when you're setting up the probate estate.
Okay. What about drawbacks? Are there any drawbacks to getting a living trust instead of a will?
Just probably the cost. The upfront cost would be the big one. And a lot of times people, we have this kind of fear of probate, but it's not always there. And some people say, I want that. I want a judge to oversee everything. I want to make sure that it's done with my wishes. I want that court supervision. Probate's not really expensive generally, not as long as nobody's fighting. It's a simple thing. Mm-hmm. So some people like having it go through there to make sure everything's done the way it's supposed to be, that it's a little more supervised.
Okay. And obviously the process either way can be a little complicated. So can folks call you so you can walk them through which one to get and what to do?
Oh, that's what we do. We have an estate, a whole estate division. That's all we do is we try to find what vehicle, whether it's a living trust or a will, powers of attorneys, things like that, fit a person, and we'll help walk them through it.
Right, because every situation is different. So helping out a lot of people. Thanks so much, Jim.
Thank you.
The Higgins Firm is serving Tennessee. Give them a call at 1-800-705-2121 or go to their website. That's thehigginsfirm.com.